Welcome to the Dolphins Dive Bar. I'm main man Tony 2 times, aka Chicky, aka Sad Boy again. As you can see, the flag's hanging upside down because the Dolphins go down in Monday Night Football, prime time, to the hated Tennessee Titans now by a final of 31-12, bro. So, I don't know. I live in Hawaii, so I feel like being tropical. I'm gonna make a Mai Tai on a Monday night. Monday night Mai Tai. There's a million ways to make one. This is the way I choose. Let me see. Start with your shaker glass. Get some ice in it. Checka. First thing I'm gonna do is 3/4 of an ounce of orgeat syrup. It's like an almond syrup. It's freaking amazing. Get this one instead of like that one with all that high fructose corn crap in it. That one sucks. Like that big shaker bottle they would use at any kind of commercial bar or whatever. And then after that, I'm gonna put in 2 ounces of my Dominican rum. I like Dominican rum. I like Rugal.
Let's see, that's my favorite for sure. 2 ounces of that. We're gonna do
1/2 ounce of the orange liqueur.
probably 1/2 ounce, boom. 1/2 ounce of that.
And then what we're gonna do this. I already measured this out. This is 1 full ounce of fresh lime juice. Always go fresh. Squeeze your own citrus.
Pop this on.
Nice glass with ice. Then I like to take some dark rum. Create a nice little floater right on top. Boop. Bop, bop, bop. Mix it up. That's a Mai Tai. That's pretty good. So once again, the Dolphins lose Monday Night Football to Tennessee. The previously winless Tennessee Titans came to town and used not one, but 2 quarterbacks to get the best of the Dolphins today. Tennessee goes up to 1-3. Miami falls to 1-3. Man, just an ugly game by the freaking Dolphins. Just an ugly game full of penalties. I mean, even on the drive, they scored a touchdown. Just penalty after penalty after penalty. The motion, I mean, back to back. It's terrible. 4 games in to this freaking NFL season. 4 games in, and the Miami Dolphins have yet to secure 1 lead in regulation time. 1 lead in regulation through 4 games. And what's supposed to be just the smartest coach in the league and one of the best weapons rosters in the league. Well, one of the fastest teams in the league when it comes to speed, man. New SNOOP Huntley. I mean, 14 for 22, 96 yards. Only got sacked twice. O-line didn't suck today. O-line gave him time, open lanes for him and the other backs to potentially do work and gave him time to really throw the ball. But, I mean, come on. 14 for 22 and 96. You're not finding people when you're throwing it east and west the whole game. It was like no north and south. They started off the first play, well, it was a play action up the seams. They get some yards. I mean, Orlovsky, that guy, the whole frigging game is just like, bro, throw it up the middle, throw it down the seams, find the open space. The Dolphins just don't do that, man. Freaking, Huntley also, he led in rushing. Guy finished 8 carries for 40 yards, and he scored the lone touchdown of the Dolphins game, like their first touchdown in 30 some odd drives. Dog. What's that kid's name? Jalen Wright. 9 carries, 32. Achan had 10 carries for 15 yards, man. and he got hurt that game. Like, Tyreek ran the ball 3 times, got like, 14 yards, 14, 19 yards. I mean, dude, the Dolphins, I mean, there were some holes in the middle. I mean, you could see it. They had holes in the middle, and then they would still just freaking continue to try to run the ball outside. I mean, everything's to the edge. All the throws are to the edge. All the runs, you're trying to break the edge. I mean, edging. They're like a freaking teenager with a porn addiction, man. All they do is edge. Tyreek, he threw more temper tantrums on the sideline than he got catches this game. Him and Waddle. I mean, Tyreek finishes 4 for 23. 4 catches, 23 yards. You hear that dog? Because that was dog shit. The Penguin, the Waddler, 4 catches, 36 yards. So our 2 highest paid offensive weapons that are playing in the game have 8 catches for 59 yards. 8 catches for 59 yards. And this offense, bro, Tanner Connor was the only tight end in the game to get a catch, bro. Malik Washington made his debut. Hey, good for you. He got a catch. But one tight end, like Jonnu Smith, is invisible. All these tight ends are invisible. For a new quarterback, a guy that was on a practice squad at the beginning of the season to now starting a game in week 4, for that guy to not have plays designed to where you can get the tight ends at least open and make them a focal point of the game. I mean, McDaniel, bro, it's 2 weeks in a row you're just woefully unprepared and calling shit games, bro. Like, there's no identity. They don't know what the hell they want to be other than an edge rushing team and a receiver screen team. I guess that is their identity. The narrative is soft. And, I mean, they prove it to you every week with this play calling and this effort, especially on offense, I mean, you start the game after a great Ogba interception because, Will Levis friggin', that dude was played like a pile for that game, right? But you try to be slick. You got Hill in the backfield, fumbles a screen. You throw the ball behind, goes off his hands, and he semi-fights for it, recovered by Tennessee. They're lucky that Miami's lucky the ref blew the whistle, or else that would have been like a turnover, led to a touchdown, easy, scoop and score. You wind up trading turnovers with these guys because, you get it off an interception and then you fumble it in the very next drive. And, like, every drive in that first half, it was, like, other than the first play, maybe, like, 2 or 3 plays, literally every pass was to the damn sideline. Like, not even past the line of scrimmage. Now, I get it. I freaking get it. Huntley, it's his first game. He doesn't know the plays, but it's, like, still design something else. Make a new play. And design plays that you're comfortable with him running other than pitch it outside or throw it to the flats but behind the line of scrimmage. Huntley misses Tyreek in like the only 2 opportunities that offense really had to break anything open. I mean, Tyreek just used his speed. First one, he had a step. The safety was like still kind of in the middle of the field trying to catch up to them as well. If it's on the money or if it's just far enough to where he could chase it down, that's a touchdown. And then later in the game, same play, Tyreek just burns past the DB. This time Huntley actually finds a way to overthrow him. So, unfortunately, they don't have any rhythm together. They don't have any timing together. They don't, he doesn't have touch on that deep ball yet, and he just haven't practiced it. So it's just going to be ugly football for whoever starts next week for the Dolphins. If it is Huntley, or if it's Doyle Rules, whatever the hell this friggin' name is. I don't care anymore. All I know, all these quarterbacks on the roster, all I know is that, like, we're suffering without QB1. And he wasn't doing all that hot to begin with either. Special teams was funky today. Like, Duke Riley almost messing up and giving them the ball on a... I mean, the Dolphins almost blocked the punt, right? And then, thankfully, the Tennessee player touches it. And then goes old Duke Riley trying to grab the damn ball. Gets a fumble or, bobbles it and it gets away from him. And then Tennessee would have recovered, but is reversed on the challenge because they did touch the ball first. And then Braxton Berrios, he's not breathing life into the team on offense, but at least he's getting his, he's shooting his shot on special teams. He almost houses one. He brings it back 27 yards. He gets like a shoestring tackle by the freaking long snapper. But, Miami does nothing with it, of course. The defense was the only thing. I mean, they did good enough to keep you, like, semi-competitive in that game. I mean, throughout the first half, you give up, like, only field goals. Nick Folk kicked 3 field goals in the second quarter. That's 9 points. And they had 9 points at the half. Jordan Brooks led the team with 13 tackles, and he got a sack. I mean, that's all right. Agba played like a man possessed today. I mean, he got that interception. He got tackles for loss. He was getting sacks, but he was getting pressures. I mean, that dude was everywhere, And he was on the couch, like a month and change ago. I mean, some of these players are showing up, but it's like not enough. Like Levis was like 3 for 4 today, okay? And he gets hurt diving on a play that should have been a first down. He should have got the first down. Winds up jacking his shoulder up, or maybe he stepped out before. I don't know. But it looked like the first down to me. Jacks his shoulder up, and then Mason Rudolph comes in, bro. Mason Rudolph goes 9 for 17. So the 2 quarterbacks today for Tennessee that beat the Miami Dolphins combined, okay, as 12 for 21 with 102 yards and 0 touchdowns. That air performance beat you because Miami couldn't stop the run when they had to. I mean, those boys, Pollard and company, those boys were tearing it up. And on top of injuries, you get Phillips hurt again to that right knee, the knee that he blew the Achilles on, or the leg he blew the Achilles on. But then, he gets hurt early in the game, goes to the 10 for like a minute or two. Mad as hell. People trying to dap him up and hitting their hands, and he's hurt. He's like, damn, I can't get right. And then later in the game, he gets hurt again. He's out for the whole game, bro. If he already had the knee thing, why put him back in? Like, why? Like, the man... It's like an oxymoron. He's not injury prone, but he's prone to injury. Like, he gets hurt. And so if he's already hurt, and you know what he's coming back from, I mean, his motor is great, and he's going to try his freaking best to win you, to make plays for you. But sometimes you got to save a guy from himself. I know you need the people. I know you need, like, you got, like, Brandon Peely and guys on the D-line now that it's like, that guy's on the team? I mean, that shit was rough, bro. The league lucked out when they made 2 Monday night games. And I think this is a thing that you got to do with the Dolphins because first of all, you never know who's going to be quarterbacking for them, at least for the rest of this season. But it's like, if there was only one game, the national the country had to watch that game, that was barely a football game. That was so ugly. That Detroit game, I mean, I didn't watch none of it because I didn't watch good football because I was watching the fucking Dolphins all night. Like, yeah, and he missed a good football game with Detroit and Seattle. If you watch this, whatever this was, bro. I mean, the Dolphins were like so bad that even in the end of it, like, the defense gave up 29 points, but Tennessee had 31 because Miami gives up a safety. But fucking Huntley throwing the ball in the end zone. He was outside the tackle box by like a step, but I guess they didn't see that, but it was a safety. for intentional grounding. This team, they got one sack all day, right? And I think it was Jordan Brooks that got that sack against two backup quarterbacks. I mean, this defense is just not getting home, man. The corners are doing all right in covering, but it's like anytime they run zone, not every time, but most of the time when they run zone, the receivers, once again, they do what the Dolphins receivers don't. They find the soft spot in the zone and they drop. And then they got a quarterback that'll get the ball to them. I mean, sometimes you need a guy that'll throw it off the break, instead of this timing and rhythm-based offense. I don't know, I'm at a loss for words for this one because we don't know who's, going to start next week. But this team's got some serious freaking problems. Like, they've got no run game. If I look at HN stats, 10 for 15, right? 9 for 32. 32 plus 15 is 47. Between their two backs, they had 47 yards plus Reek's 14 yards. I mean, it just is not cutting it. This team is soft. I mean, if you have to run to the outside every play, even though there are gaping holes in the middle on some of these outside runs, when all a dude has to do is just maybe cut back inside, and then you got the whole middle of the field. You probably got 8 to 12 yards before somebody touches you. And especially with these backs, how quick they are, that 8 to 12 yards could turn into more because just of that speed alone. Mike McDaniel's just calling bad games, bro. This team does not look ready. They don't look like they have a plan. They just... Receivers aren't getting open. Doesn't matter, who it is. Tyree getting doubled, Waddle with the drops. I mean, they paid a lot of money to these guys. These guys ain't doing dick, bro. Fucking nothing. It's a fucking nightmare. I'm sorry, I try not to use as much expletives because fucking two people watch this thing, and one of them's my wife, so it's not like I'm worried about the kids hearing it, but it's it's just frustrating to see on prime time. 2 games the Dolphins had in prime time, they get friggin' embarrassed in both of them, and we got two more this season, I think. Are we playing Thanksgiving this year? I gotta look at the schedule. But I'll tell you who we are playing, because next up, the great AFC East matchup, the 1-3 Finns have to go to Foxborough up to Massachusetts and play the 1-3 Patriots. Thankfully, that's a 1 o'clock game for you guys. That's a 7 a.m. game for me. Okay, so I wake up at 6:50 to come downstairs, throw on the TV, and watch whatever the hell this is going to be. Golly gee, buddy. Anyway, I'm about to finish this. I'm about to finish it right now. This is good Mai Tai. So I'm done with this. I'm done with the video. Once again, thanks for joining me here at the Dolphins Dive Bar. Once again, our Miami Dolphins are losers on Monday Night Football to falling to the Tennessee Titans by a score of 31-12, 1 touchdown, a couple field goals, and yeah, that was it. So let's see what a great scheming Mike McDaniel comes up with next week to maybe, score 15 points. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you later.